Here it goes. Well,
Hello.
start back. Hey,
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 like the Brady Bunch.
everybody's on board. It's always a good thing. Wow, it's almost like we're getting professional.
Almost.
Don't worry, we'll fix it yet.
Guaranteed something's going to happen. Okay, well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to our Sunday night offering of Astronomy Edutainment, the Sunday Night Astronomy Show. Yay.
Yay.
Robert, hey, initiation time, sir. That's what you have to do. Okay, my name is Chris Kerwin. I'm the creator of the social media channels known as Astronomy by the Bay, astronomer and a regular member of the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada.
Blah, blah, blah.
Try that again. I'm very pleased to introduce my two co-hosts here this evening, two other comedians here in the show, Mr. Paul Owen from the Moonshadow Observatory in beautiful Hampton, New Brunswick. Paul, good evening.
Good evening out here in the snow.
And Mr. Mike Powell from the PFO Observatory here in snowy St. John. Well, cloudy St. John anyway.
There's no snow yet.
Oh, and here comes Roscoe. Roscoe.
Hey, Roscoe.
Oh.
No.
The Amazon Queen.
Okay, like to welcome all of you tonight, and all of you who are joining us as well through the Rogers TV network. We appreciate your support. Thank you. On tonight's episode of the Sunday Night Astronomy Show, now this hobby of astronomy can be inviting in many different ways. Some may choose to study features on the moon. Some will dabble in astrophotography, and others just enjoy an evening full of stars. Now, our next guest has done a bit of all those things, actually, along with being dedicated to sharing his views with others through outreach. An active member of our local club, he enjoys working on astrophotography captures, and on those rainy days, he has a particular interest in capturing some amazing solar images. Tonight, we welcome to the show our friend and local astronomer, Robert Gaudet. Robert, evening.
Evening, everybody.
How do you catch the sun on those rainy days? Just curious.
It's an art form.
I guess.
You got to be really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Now we're going to chat a little bit about how you started in the hobby, and along with he's going to share some of his most recent images as well. We also have Bino Bud returning tonight, and Rosanna's fun fact will be back with us as well this evening. Mike is going to walk us through his product of the week this evening, and I'll show us a quick look at. No, actually, I'm going to skip that part tonight this week because there's really not a whole lot happening. out of the ordinary. My cat's trying to look out the window here. Just a minute. We will have though all of your wonderful photos to share, and I'm going to give a quick update on the current moon contest that closes tomorrow at midnight. So first up this evening, a conversation with Robert. Nice background, Robert. Look at you, got it all done. Way ahead of all.
Finally got it all done.
Finally.
Okay, about me. First of all, you want the long version or the short version?
Give us the version.
Long version it is. All right. No, I won't be all that long. Anyways, probably began when I was, well, a toddler for all the amounts, I noticed shining things in the sky, like the moon, the sun, and the stars, and noticed how the snow was basically looking like, sort of like diamonds. And, being probably around age 3, I was trying to find the diamonds in the snow, and I could never find them. So around the age of 6, I wondered why or what the stars were made out of. And I was told like different types of gases. And I think, well, at age 6, I was wondering how they were getting gas from gas pumps that high into the sky to make the stars. Well, 6 years old, stupid kid, right? So anyways, also constellations, people say, oh, look, there's the Big Dipper or Leo. And it's like, well, I could never see anything other than points of light. And I was just wondering, how the stars made a shape that looked like my Uncle Leo. Like, I don't see him.
Uncle Leo.
Right? Yeah. And then anyways, my preteen years, I had a cousin, Melissa Munn, who lived next door to me. And she had a Sears department store grade refractor. And that was actually probably the first time I saw any close details on the moon. And that was probably in the late 70s to early 80s. For that time, it was quite good. Also in the preteen years, I had an elementary school teacher, Paul Derling. He basically took his Sears grade refractor in a ball diamond in Blacks Harbor at the school. And he invited a select few students to join him. And that was the first time I've ever saw Saturn in a small refractor, which looked like a small oval dot, no real details or anything, but the oval dot, of course, just a little bit of the rings and whatnot. And then I looked up in the sky and I noticed that there was a glow in the sky, and I was told that that was the Milky Way. And I was looking at the edge of our galaxy, right? So that was pretty impressive for probably, like 9-10 years old. Anyways. So in my teen years, we went to PEI for a summer vacation with my mom and dad and one of my sisters. And I was probably around the age of 16 at the time. And we went, I just asked my folks to see if we could go to the planetarium to see what that was all about. So we got there and they gave a presentation about the night sky and the summer sky. And it was pretty informative and got a lot of good information, but something was still missing. I wanted to know, well, you must have an observatory, being a university and all. And that just came out of my mouth, and next thing I know, one of the students says, well, we're taking a few people from the public to see the observatory. Does anyone like to go? And of course, the hand goes up right away, and mom and dad, they wanted to go home, but they said, no, this is for him. Let's take him up to the observatory. And up we went. And then I met a gentleman by the name of Professor Earl Wanacott. And he was the professor that taught astronomy at UPEI, and the observatory actually housed a 14-inch Celestron SCT at the time. And boy, I was in for a treat. I kind of knew I was anyways, but anyways, he stood up in front of everybody and said, does anybody want to see Saturn? Well, nobody said yes. He just said, anyone? Still no one said anything. And he says, how about this gentleman right here? I said, me? He goes, yeah, sure, why not? So anyways, well, I saw the crescent-shaped Venus for the first time. And then I became hooked on having interest in astronomy. So I went down to the bookstore and I bought my first rudimentary star atlas, if you will, just with the summer, fall, winter, different seasons and what the most prominent constellations were and what the bigger stars were. So it was like a beginner sky atlas. And today, well, I use Sky Atlas 2000 and other apps and stuff. So it's quite a difference from then and now. So time passed, and I myself went to university, and I graduated in 1993, science degree in marine biology, but I still had an interest in astronomy. And then it was then I met, after I graduated, I met a friend, Roger Thompson, here just not too far away from me anyway. He lived in Beaver Harbor at the time. And he was just getting into the hobby himself, and he had purchased a Meade 10-inch LX200 SCT. And I had no idea that the general public could buy such a scope. So anyway, a year later, I purchased my own very own LX200, but I went with an 8-inch simply because it was smaller form factor. It was easier for me to carry. Same mount, same setup, whole 9 yards. Anyways, so I learned how to do the setup, to do the alignment and everything with his first. So when I eventually got mine, it was easy to learn and set up, whatnot. And then I joined the St. John Astronomy Club and learned a bunch of things that I had long forgotten, such as parallax. And I'm sorry, Kurt, I just, anyways. But, over time, my interest sort of declined and I ceased to attend the meetings for one reason or another. A few years passed, I went to a pause. The LX200's electronics failed. And then finally, I just lost interest for a while. And I saw something on Facebook. It was called Astronomy by the Bay. And some gentleman by the name of Chris Kerwin was giving views of the moon. It really didn't impress me because I've seen the moon before, right? And it's like, yeah, okay, been there, done that. But it was this idea of being able to actually broadcast or image the moon that was sort of very intriguing. So I reached out to Chris. And again, right then and there, my interest was sparked again. He encouraged me I should be going out, doing more things. Well, I had a scope here whose didn't have electronics, but I could still use manual. But anyways, I contacted Roger and I nicely asked him to see if he would have a look at my scope. And it was a matter of a couple days and he fixed my scope and I was back in business. Then I rejoined the St. John Astronomy Club. I saw some old faces there, but I also met some new people whom I found quite interesting, such as Paul Owen and Mike Powell. So I also met a lot of other people, of which I fostered very fond friendships with, and I'm still meeting new people today. So, but then a little bit of a life change happened to me. October 11th, 2018. I lost my oldest sibling and I was completely devastated. So I basically needed something to take my mind off of what just happened to me, basically. And then I reached out to Paul about dabbling in astrophotography. And well, my very first image of the Orion Nebula was with my cell phone handheld up to the eyepiece. It's quite a bad photo, but I learned how to use the DSLR with my scope. And with guidance from Paul, I was able to take photos of that were somewhat pleasing to me. But try and try again, my photos are starting to get better. So imaging today is a tribute to my sister. Every time I take an image, I'm just like, there, Dee, look at this. What do you see, right? Does this make you happy? So with the acquisition of other equipment, like planetary cameras and dedicated Solaris telescopes, attending several outreach functions, I've gained a ton of experience in this hobby by trial and error and fellowship from dear friends in the hobby. So folks, really, it's a journey. It's a fascinating journey. I really am passionate about it. I love outreach. I'm very passionate about it. I love it when people look at me or look me up during outreach on Facebook or at meetings and ask me for advice or to help them in the hobby. Believe me, I'm not an expert at any means, but I strive to be as good as some of my peers have become over the years. And I don't intend to stop now.
Awesome. Good to hear. I like the last part.
We had nothing to ask you. Just kidding.
Thanks for coming on the show, Robert. That's our show for this evening.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome, Robert.
That's an interesting journey that you've been on. I didn't
It's
realize
definitely, it's definitely from the heart, right? And it's something I'm very passionate about, and it keeps me occupied. I could be doing worse things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we all could.
It's different for everybody. Everybody's got a reason why they do it, but yours definitely is a little bit more, I guess you could say emotional than scientific, although you're using their scientific stuff as well, but
Personal.
personal. Yeah, personal.
That's it. And that's a great driving force sometimes too, is the personal reasons, you know.
Yeah.
You want to believe it. You want to believe it.
I mean, it's like a lot of hobbies. There's a lot of camaraderie, in a lot of hobbies today. And it's tough to get people together today. That's the other thing. I mean, COVID killed everything. Killed everything. You know, Christmas parties at work and, you know, going out for a beer afterwards or whatever, all that stopped. And even at work, most people, you know, don't even talk to each other because they're all working from home now, you know,
Mhm.
the largest percentage of them. So to get people together as a gathering, it's really a tough thing to
Yeah.
do. We had a meeting last night at our local club. Mike says I wasn't able to make it, but Mike says it was a full house last night, which is nice.
Yeah.
You know, that we can do that again now. We're getting back to the point where people are starting to feel comfortable
Yeah.
coming around again.
We were at, I played a show this afternoon in Sussex. And same thing there, huge crowd, which
Yeah.
was the first time we saw something like that, and well, it's been, you know, a few years.
Yeah,
So people are gathering again. So it's nice
They
to
are.
see,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, that we're starting to come out of that shell a little bit.
yeah. And they're looking for something positive to do, like something fun to do. And the thing about this hobby is that, you know, you can start out with your eyeballs really, but I mean, the simple pair of binoculars will get you going. And there's so many people out there now that, I mean, these two guys here, Mike and Paul, and of course Robert as well, you know, help me along the way. You know, if I have any questions, I know I can ask any one of these guys, and I always have a bunch of answers coming back. So it's great because I get questions from people that are following the page too. I try to pass them on, and you guys are, you know, very willing to help out that way. So it's great that way as well. You know, I think we're because none of us really know it all. That's the thing about this hobby. You know, each one of us have a part that we understand well, and that's how that mix kind of comes together. Like everybody's a piece of the pie, right? So yeah, no, it's a great story, Robert, and it's probably a familiar story to many as far as, you know, getting into the hobby, starting out when you were young. And I know I did it myself when outside the city in
Yeah.
summer camp, looking up the sky.
You just meet a few people in your journey
Mm.
that imprint on you or impress upon you the fact that it is an amazing hobby, and you just want to learn so much about it. You know, and even as an adult, you never stop learning.
No.
It's life. That's the way it is.
Yep. And to share that knowledge with others as well.
Exactly.
So yeah, you're going to show us some photos.
Yes.
Great. Let's bring up a few images of what you've been doing lately.
Okay. So basically what I want to do is I want to start with some of the stuff I started with, and just do a comparison between the two images of where I've come in like 2 years and some of them with 4 years. But some of it's going to be solar, some of it's just going to be a brief brief showing of some images that I did for deep sky and wide field.
Sure.
So I won't spend a whole lot of time on them because we do have constraints. So I'll just see if I can share my screen here. But first I want to bring up my folders. I want to see if I got here. There it is. Okay, I'll start with my, just bear with me, folks.
You bet.
Okay.
A lot of people saying hello to you here, Robert.
I haven't seen anything here. I'm just busy seeing what I can find here.
Along with Lisa, who says, anyone else bop along to that opening song?
No, not really. Oh, where are you at? Okay, share screen. And here we go. All right. Your share screen is loading. Here we go. Okay. Perfect.
We can see it.
Okay, so the first of time when I was saying about Paul being to give me some guidance about how to start astrophotography. This was my very first image of the Orion Nebula. So yeah, you can see star trails. This is my phone held up to the eyepiece of my scope, and this is with a DSLR and tracking 2 years later.
There's a little bit of a difference.
Little bit of a difference.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit of a difference. So we go from 2 years for, basically Paul's guidance and whatnot and encouragement. troubleshooting this and troubleshooting that and doing a little bit of astro imaging photography. We go from this to that. And let's see, we'll go to a little bit of a solar image here right now. This is my very first solar image that I had. And that's using just white light, a white light filter. So we have here, we have a sunspot. We have a bit of the photosphere and whatnot. You're not going to see any details with white light. You need hydrogen alpha. So hydrogen alpha scope we went. And I'll have my latest photo that I've taken, which was last month. And here we go with the solar surface. So we see the coronosphere, we see some areas of sunspots, we see filaments, see some of the prominences. Some of the prominences starting to break off the solar surface. And I'll just give another one here of the prominences here. And there's some more prominences on there. Again, the photosphere. And I had someone contact me one morning. It was probably about 8 o'clock in the morning. It was early summer. My phone was ringing and binging like crazy. Are you outside? Are you outside? There's a great big prominence on the sun surface. Yep, in the process of setting up. And there it is.
Wow.
That's a nice one. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was active there.
The Earth would slide right through that.
Yeah,
Mm.
well, probably about 10 Earths could go across the entire filament or the prominence.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I went in to did some more things with my lunt. And I got some more better prominences and get some better filaments and better sunspots. This is not an inverted image. The first one that I showed of hydrogen alpha was actually inverted. It just brings out the details on the surface a little bit. It just reverses the palette. And here's another one here. Basically, I just changed the background just a little bit to show more filaments, right? More prominences. You can see the coronosphere or the coronosphere, not the coronosphere, is what would you call that? Not the chromosphere. It's a chromosphere, isn't it? Yes.
Oh, chromosphere?
Yeah.
Chromosphere.
Yeah, the chromosphere. Yeah, you can see that a little better. Then we'll go to some lunar images here. This is probably one of my best images I have for lunar for a mineral moon.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And,
it's amazing the
it's color.
colors of that, eh?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I get a lot of good comments on that one. And
So,
then,
Robert,
yes,
before you go to a next photo.
Yep.
Can we talk about this one for a second?
we can, yes.
So for those who are looking at this, and they're not, anybody's experienced with this, they may think that there's a lot of false color added here, but can you just explain what we're looking at, why we're seeing color?
Well, basically, the moon is comprised of different minerals and whatnot on the lunar surface, and with longer exposures and just maintaining a little bit, or not maintain, but adjusting the saturation a little bit on the actual image, you're able to bring out more details on the minerals on the surface of the moon. You're not adding anything to it. You're just basically increasing the amount that you can see.
Mhm.
So, like, I don't know what specifically the minerals would be. Like, I think basalt is one of them, and there's other minerals. I'm not sure what they are, but you can clearly see them on the lunar surface. And it's not a whole lot of different editing that you have to do. It's just basically bringing out a bit more color saturation and maybe color balance or whatnot, just different, but it's not adding anything to it. It's just bringing out that different level on your actual image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we look at the moon, it's so bright that, our eyes don't see color. And then, of course, when we photograph it, we don't normally see the color. But there is something that everybody calls the true color of the moon. And that's exactly what you're pulling out, the true colors of the moon. When they looked out the window in Apollo, they were seeing something closer to that than what we were seeing from here.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
And,
who knew that the moon had colors? It's
Yeah.
incredible.
And even when you bring down the exposure, you even bring out that more of that detail on the minerals
Yeah.
too, because you don't have that brightness, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. And then this one here is the next one I'd have is probably my latest shot. And it's just simply a monochrome shot. And it was with ZWO 174 monochrome camera with a 6mm SCT and only in alt-az mode. But and I used a UV IR filter, and it brought out a lot of detail on the surface.
Did you shoot
Yeah.
that in mono or is that RGB?
No, that's the 174 mm monochrome.
Oh, it's
camera.
mono. Okay, you shot it mono.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep. Yep. And then I did a little bit of wide field. Now this is out of Wallace Cove in Blacks Harbor, this next photo.
Mhm.
And we have Venus and we have Jupiter. That was a close conjunction that we had a few months, I think last year, I'm not sure when it was, but it was quite a nice evening we had.
Mhm.
And then I have a shot of Neowise that was actually in a couple newspapers.
Oh, yes, yes, that was an awesome
The
shot.
Northern Light and Telegraph Journal. These were featured in, thanks to Kurt Nason, who submitted my photos for me. Thank you, Kurt. A lot of good reviews on that one. And back to planetary, I did a little bit of planetary with just some ones on Saturn. And I did one on here, Jupiter, latest one, if I can find it here. Jupiter, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And I've done just a few DSOs I'll show. And this was like Messier 22 out of Sagittarius over the summer.
Mhm.
And this is the cooling tower in Cygnus.
Yes, sir.
Where's
So-
it, Robert? Where is it?
Where?
Cygnus,
Yes. Oh, yeah.
my favorite constellation
Yay.
is
Never
yours.
mind,
But
never
you can
mind.
see, you can see some I added the diffraction spikes I added myself, because with the SCT you don't get those. So
No.
people say, yeah, there's Robert going again with his diffraction spikes, yada yada yada. But anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. And we have the Pleiades, and again the diffraction spikes. It is what.
Yeah,
it
but
is.
you know what? If you shot that with a Newtonian or
Yes,
a Richard
Yeah.
Fetchkin, you're going to get that anyway. And typically that's what the Hubble uses. So
right.
don't be ashamed of your spikes.
No.
I think they're awesome.
And it's just some other deep sky objects of the Ring Nebula, again, that's in Lyra. And then I got another deep sky here, I think. No, I cut it back. So, oh yeah, I do have one Trifid Nebula
Nice.
again in Sagittarius.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to finish up with some wide fields. Again, this is the area in Cygnus.
Where?
Cygnus, round Deneb, and we have the Butterfly Nebula here, and then we have, of
Never
course,
heard of it.
American
Never heard of
Nebula.
it.
Never heard of it.
There's a lot going on in that image.
And you can have that, and you can remove the stars, and you can just have the nebulosity.
Yeah.
And then we have, again, this is the head end of Aquila in Cygnus,
Oh, nice coat hanger.
Coat hanger.
coat hanger, and up here we actually have a little green dot. That's the dumbbell, and then
Yes, sir.
Bernard's E here.
Yeah. Burns
And I also got the James Webb spikes down here.
right on.
Very nice.
I just thought I'd add those in.
Nice,
Wide
yeah.
field, and another wide field shot of the Heart and Soul Nebula and the double cluster and Perseus.
Nice. Great color, Rob.
And Orion, I'll finish up with Orion and a shot of the Milky Way.
Yeah,
There's
that's
my
nice.
Orion
Oh,
shot.
Bernard's loop. Nice.
Yeah,
Which lens for that, Robert?
that's the nifty 50 for Canon on my T7i.
Mhm.
And I opened up the lens and I did like a 16-second exposure on that. And
Yeah.
that was just on a tripod. There was no tracking at all. That's all I had. And then the Milky Way in behind my house.
Yeah,
Nice, guys.
that's nice.
Yeah.
And just wanted to end up with soul shot of Venus
Hmm.
in my house.
Well, that's a nice Christmas picture, right?
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I posted for last year as a Christmas picture. And actually I do have one more, and that was the one I just took this year. And we have Hyades and we have Arigia and the Pleiades, and we have Jupiter.
Yeah. Nice.
Jupiter up in the corner. Okay. So I'll stop sharing my screen and away we'll go.
Oh,
Awesome.
Right on.
Great shots, Robert.
Thank you.
Well done. All hail mighty Cygnus, Mike.
Mike, and, I see the comment there now.
I love cygnus.
Boy. Those are awesome, Robert.
Thank you.
So what are you enjoying the most now? Are you enjoying solar deep skies, or is there a preference, or do you?
No, there's none. If I get out, I have basically I have the opportunity to get out and do deep sky and set up, do a proper alignment and whatnot.
Yeah,
Then for sure, I'll go with deep sky. But
yeah,
I'm a lover of the sun and warmer weather, so I'm more entitled to go out and image the sun in the summertime than I
sure.
am setting up in the evenings and going out. But
Yeah.
we haven't had a lot of good weather this year, of course, and
Oh, it's been
a lot of
terrible.
people were like, frantic and fuming because we were not able to get out and image or even
Right.
do visual. So
Yeah,
I mean, everybody thinks about astronomy as being a nighttime event, really, because that's
It's
what
not.
we're trained to. But there's a lot of daytime stuff too, right?
Yeah.
That we can do. Yeah.
so
Awesome.
maybe we should get on to a bino bud.
Yep. Sure. Sounds good.
No.
What?
Oh.
No,
No.
no.
I know.
Your turn, Mike.
Just number one, it is. All right, binocular target of the week this week by Bino Bud is, be prepared for this, gentlemen, the golf putter.
I didn't know Powell was Scottish.
Not in a kilt.
Nice.
Anyway, moving on. The asterism, the golf putter, excuse me, and ball is located in Andromeda. It contains a straight line of stars forming the club's shaft and two bright stars perpendicular to the shaft forming the club's head. The open cluster NGC 752 actually forms the ball that it's about to hit with the putter. So how do I find it in the sky? I forgot to put the time in here, but at 9 o'clock, if you went outside and looked almost straight up, you see Perseus, the end of Andromeda. If you come over 2 stars and up 2 stars, there's the Andromeda galaxy. Continue on, go out to the last star, and then in between the last star in Andromeda and the top corner of Triangulum, you're going to run into the golf putter right in this area. Trust me, when you come down from that line with a pair of binoculars, you're going to see it. Oh, what will you see, or what will it look like? There's the straight line of stars coming down. There's the little butt at the end that makes the golf club come straight down, or hockey stick if you want. And down here is the NGC that becomes the ball, or call it a hockey puck in my book if you like. But you'll notice it coming down. You'll see the putter and the golf ball when you look through a pair of binoculars. And 10 by 50s, there it is. Nice straight line down. And then your NGC is a golf ball right in here. It's pretty cool to look at. Compared to the full moon, well, it's got to be at least 4 full moons in height. So big target, easy to see, simple to find, and it's kind of cool to look at. Bad joke of the week. How do astronomers organize a party? They plan it.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh. Oh, that's
oh.
Last binocular target of the week by Bonaba.
I think everything except that last slide. We might have to work on that one. Might have to get that one to Paul, because he's usually the captain of those.
I was going to say, yeah, they plan it, strikes a chord with me.
Couldn't do. Okay, let's go. Let's go from there to Rosanna's fun fact maybe next.
Oh, yeah, okay. Catch me off guard, will you? Okay, give me a sec here. Gotta see if I've even got it already queued up, which you probably don't.
Got a few questions for you after here, Robert, too. So
I see those. Yes.
All right, give me a
Wow.
sec.
yeah, keep the questions coming, folks, if you have any. We'll be able to squeeze them in, I'm sure.
Oh, I get a visitor here.
I'm gonna share my screen.
Hmm?
I'm gonna share my screen.
Okay, yep, there you go. Ain't no sound, Paul.
I got the sound working. I know I did. We did that at the beginning. Hang on. Oh, I've lost everybody now.
Bing, 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 bing. Rosetta's fun
Oh,
fact.
Stop sharing. Hang on, let me check. I probably turned it off when we were talking earlier about how to work it. All right, we'll try that one more time. Get my phone a little. I can see what I'm doing. There we go.
That's fun fact.
Hey, there we go. And we're back. Another wonderful Rosanna's fun fact. And just give me a second here. So here we go. Let's get right into it. So Rosanna writes, hi, Paul. Do things come in threes? There's a saying that many believe that things come in threes. It's usually referencing bad things like accidents or deaths. No one knows the real origin, but some think it arose from the Crimean War, where soldiers were warned not to light 3 cigarettes from a single match, believing that the third one, a sniper would have time to aim and fire. However, I choose to apply this looking for the third thing to positive happenings instead. All right, let me just get this thing here off and get started with that. There we go. So in 1952, a mystery.
Paul?
Yeah,
Sorry, Paul, are you sharing a screen or?
I thought I was.
Okay, no, not seeing anything.
Try again.
There you go.
There you go.
It was off again, eh? Wonderful. Anyway, so in 1952, a mystery began that is still unsolved today. Take a close look at this picture. The images are just under an hour apart, and yet 3 stars have completely vanished. On July 19, 1952, the Palomar Observatory in San Diego undertook a survey of the sky, mostly looking for asteroids or other space bodies passing in front of others. The surprising disappearance is actually pretty unusual. Even more so, in all the years since studying all pics in this area, the triple transients have never reappeared. A new team in October put forth a paper yet to be peer reviewed, in which they outline all the possibilities that basically do not explain the disappearance. And the mystery remains. And there are some articles that you can look up on this if you choose to. So this gentleman here, let's talk about him. So this mystery started me on a hunt for the 3 weirdest things that filtered into my inbox over the last little while. Seemingly unrelated, I was reading about anthropometry. She always listens to me. She gives me one. Anyway, and body mass index, and discovered both were invented by an astronomer. Well, I had to look up the guy, and voila, here is Lambert Adolphe Jacques, who looks like it's French. In 1796 to 1874. He was a Belgian astronomer, mathematician, statistician, and a sociologist who founded and directed the Brussels Observatory and was influential in introducing statistical methods to the social sciences. This portrait stopped me, and probably other Jason Bourne fans, in my tracks. Behold the evil Noah Voisin. The French fellow's life would actually make a great movie. Perhaps we can get David Strathairn to do the role. That's David Strathairn. Right. So this is interesting. Mike, you might find this interesting. Does anyone out there keep an eye out for items on the road or in the ditch that perhaps could be salvaged into something useful? One of my friends calls that scavenging, but you never know what you might find on the side of the road. Being on the lookout for treasures is a family trait, and this is in this household. When my son was little, every time I went for a walk, upon my return, he would ask me, "Mom, what did you find?" It was never, "Did you find anything?" There was no question that something had to be found. And how about this? Now, I know what you're thinking. I bet Mike, especially, is saying, "Stop the car, I want that." Seriously, did NASA just forget about this? No. So here's the whole story. During the mid 20th century, a construction vehicle got into a wreck while transporting cement to a bridge being built across a nearby Ookla, I'm going to call that lake in Winganong, Oklahoma. Thanks, Rosanna. I'm gonna get you to this. The mixer rolled onto the side of the road where the cement inside it quickly began to harden into a solid block. Crews decided it was too heavy to move in the mixer and it had to be buried right there on the side of the East 300 road. However, this effort fell by the wayside and locals became attached to the object and it's become something of a landmark. In 2011, local artists Barry and Heather Thomas decided to celebrate their 5th wedding anniversary by transforming the cement mixer into an object of wonder. They noticed its shape resembled that of a space capsule and began painting it to push the resemblance as far as possible. They covered it with silver paint and added NASA logos and American flag and thrusters on the bottom. Today, everyone driving by would make a mistake for it being the real thing, adding a bit of space intrigue to an otherwise unremarkable farm road.
That is awesome.
Isn't that something? So since this is 2023, I don't think anyone is ever going to come and get it. And it's a bird, it's a plane, it's a, what do you see there, folks? What do you think that is? It's a lost tool bag from the ISS. On November the 1st, it became inadvertently untethered. I wonder if my dad would have ever accepted that explanation when one of us dropped his screwdriver down a vent. It became inadvertently untethered. That's funny. So I prefer to think looking for and expecting 3 things in a row is a good thing. Think triple crown, triple scoops of ice cream, or even triple point in thermodynamics when temperature and pressure are such that all 3 phases of a substance can exist. If you are still not convinced that 3 is a good thing, then try watching that movie, The Three Stooges. And that's this week's.
That's fun.
That was excellent, Rosanna. Thank you so much. Thank you for the word twisters. I will work on that.
That was good. That was good.
Fantastic.
That was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I could see Mike picking that up on the side of the road. Come on, boys, you gotta get.
Yeah, Mike's going on a road trip.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea for it.
Oh,
Okay, let's go to product. Mike's gonna give us a quick product of the week review here.
We have
We're gonna
time?
do Photos, and then we're gonna sign off after that. So
You sure we got time?
I think, well, we're 8:44. We got
All right.
6 minutes altogether.
My product of the week, I just wanted to talk about it. I actually talked about it last night at the St. John Astronomy Club meeting. I took this with me, but it's a new toy to me, but they've been out there, I guess, since 2019, I guess, is when they first come out. But it's a Skywatcher AZ GTI mount.
Oh, Chris, could you make Mike's screen large so we can see that?
I just did.
Big, be big. So yeah, I was looking at this. I wanted something, I love doing DSLR photography. I love doing wide field at night and stuff like that. And I wanted something that was nice and light and portable that I could take with me wherever I wanted to go. And I came across some people that had purchased these and they said they're the greatest little mount. And I got researching into them. They make this model, which is the AZ GTI. They also make the AZ GT3. The difference between the two of them is this one here has dual encoders. So it costs more, but it's full go-to. And if you're tracking, then you can actually undo the clutches, move it to another object manually, and it knows where you move to. That's what the extra set of I'm lost words again. Yeah, the encoders, that's what they do. Anyway, so looking at this a little deeper, I went online and I found one used because I like to buy stuff used. And I came across this. It'll handle up to 11 pounds, which is pretty darn good for a little mount like this. Everything inside it, I mean, very, very well built. It's all cast aluminum body. The inside there's no plastic gears. It's all metal gears. There's very little play in it. I love the fact that this one has clutches and you can undo it and move it around manually if you like. The tracking is incredible. This is actually Wi-Fi as well to your phone or your tablet, or even to your PC if you choose. I also went out and bought the ASI Air to go with this thing. And if you don't know what an ASI Air is, it's basically a little mini computer that you can attach to the side, and it does everything for you. But for DSLR and wide field photography, this mount, hands down, to me, is probably one of the best you can get your hands on. I have a Star Adventurer, and it's a good little rig, but this surpasses it hands down. And then with an 11-pound capacity, it'll take, a 5 or a 6-inch SET without too much problem at all. And yet the whole thing with the diagonal, which I would say if you're going to purchase it, upgrade the diagonal. And this, I got lucky enough with mine. I got the upgraded William Optic diagonal. Skywatcher diagonal is not anywhere near as robust and as tight as the William Optic one. It's the one thing that I would say, if there was a flaw in this item at all, it would be the diagonal the wedge that Skywatcher supplies, or you can buy for it. I would definitely go with the upgrade to something like the William Optic. But for a grab and go system to put your DSLR on and head out, this is the best thing since sliced bread. It's all self-powered as well. You can put, I think it's 8 AA's in there, and you're off to the races. That'll get you through a full night, and it does everything for you. And you got a nice little grab and go setup with full go-to, and attach the ASI Air to it, and you can control the camera. You can, do plate solving. You can do guiding, the whole 9 yards. What an amazing setup for a little package like that.
So is that only DC, Mike, or can you run that AC as well?
Well, it's got a 12-volt plug-in like all mounts do.
So just the transfer or converter?
Yeah. So, I mean, you can take a battery pack and plug it in, or you can leave the batteries in this side, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Fantastic.
But that's my little spot on that.
Was there a price on it? Did you mention that?
These ones running somewhere in the vicinity of 500, where the GTE that doesn't have the encoders run about 300.
Yeah. So for the difference in price, you might as well get.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
I definitely would.
Oh,
Oh,
you're good back.
No, we're good.
he's good.
I declare my throat there.
No problem. Awesome, Mike.
Lose a lung online. That's what it's called.
That's it. Thank you so much, sir.
Awesome.
Great review. We're going to see that out at the beach sometime.
All we need is a clear night.
Yeah.
That's all we need. Yeah.
Good
I
luck
haven't
with
had one
that.
since I got it.
So
So
many of them, yeah.
That's like gold now, isn't it?
I've only had the whole setup for less than a week now. So
Yeah. Yeah, it hasn't been sunny for even a week. Well,
Well,
anyway,
you know when you buy new gear, what happens, right?
absolutely.
single
Stop
time.
buying gear
Right.
for a while.
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
amount of
right.
clouds that you get is directly proportional to the cost of the equipment that you purchase.
Yeah. I forewarned everybody on the Astro Imaging site that we have on Facebook that we were going to have rain for a while.
Yeah. All right, let's get doing some photos here and then we're gonna sign out. Let me share my screen here. A few images to share tonight. We'll start with let's see the screen wheel on number 3. Bear with me and try this again. 3. Let's do this one.
There you go.
Brought them up. Okay, perfect. All right, we got this one from Jessica Mars, who says it was just so beautiful she'd have had to share it. It was taken in Browns Flat the other night, so had to capture that one. Thanks, Jessica.
Very
And
nice.
Julie Braille sent some cell phone pics in from last week. There we are, from the moon and Jupiter together. The second and third brightest object in the sky. Another nice one here, the moon. Nice moon capture.
Always nice with clouds, eh?
Hmm.
Have fun in nebula. That's a nice effect.
That's Jeff Pendlebury sent these ones, and I said, I think it was the Thursday or actually Friday morning that I was up to the North Shore here in PEI. Sometime around 3 a.m. I fired off a few shots. There was the original image, this one with no editing. Then I edited the image in Lightroom and trying to bring out some of the maximum color and not worrying about actual image quality. I assuming that the colors are in there are due to the northern lights. So I would think so, because we did have some green in there.
Yeah, could be.
So yeah,
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
Yeah.
Let's go on to David Hoskins now. His absolutely marvelous shot of the waning gibbous moon, image November the 30th. It's my ASI 183 MC camera and a Red Cat 51 astrograph.
Yes, sir.
Nicely done. And he says rain means time to reprocess some older data. This is an image of Saturn from August 23rd, 2023, probably one of my better images of the ring planet. It's awesome. Lots
Beautiful.
of detail there.
Very nice.
Hold on, that's a hard one to get. Saturn's always a tough one. Kathy Adams moon capture.
Oh, look at that, eh?
Yeah,
Beautiful.
nicely done. And Mary Craig's, is this Mary Craig's? Yes, it is. Beautiful moon from Black's Harbor, she says. From Black's Harbor Ferry Terminal. Yeah,
Yeah.
Nice.
nice.
Clouds are always interesting.
Yeah. Get this one from Jason Dane of another moonrise shot.
Yes, sir.
Very nice.
And from there, we're going to go to his Aurora capture from the other night. I mean, we had some difficult time there Thursday, Friday night, with what was happening. The actual CMEs arrived late in the day, actually on Friday, I guess. So, but we did get a chance to see a little bit anyway. And we'll have more opportunities coming up, I'm sure. This one's from Misha Turner, just outside of Fredericton before the clouds completely took over, she said. So she had a little bit of green in her shot there too. Oh, what's going on there? Oh, hang on. There we go. What happened there? Still got you guys, okay?
Yes, good. Here,
Yeah.
we can see it.
Okay. We'll go from there to there's Misha. Yeah. And then we'll go from there to Dana Plord from Kedgwick.
Yeah, there's something there, yeah.
Good stuff there.
Yeah, it's got a bit of stuff.
Anik
going on.
Fontaine
There we go.
from Balmoral.
Wow.
I mean, that's the kind of place you want to be, I guess. And then here's Dalhousie.
Everybody's got it with us.
Pascal Sonia from Dalhousie. Thank you.
All right.
And Jill Doucette from Charlotte.
Wow.
Wow, eh? Look at that.
Mm.
Beautiful.
And Michael Powers from Morrissey Rock, December the 1st at 10:08 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Then seeing Robichaud from Dalhousie, tail end of it in Dalhousie.
Well, it's all these people with these clear skies. What's going on?
Yeah, where does that come from?
Yeah. It's all you need, I guess. And get this one from Alan Fitzgerald from Dalhousie. Look at that on the water, eh?
Yes.
Isn't that crazy? Wow.
Right on the water. Yeah.
It's
Awesome.
nice. You see how it's separated from the horizon?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
How high, how far up was he?
This is Dalhousie.
That's northern New Brunswick?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty north up there.
Nice.
Little shot.
Beautiful.
Okay, I just want to give a quick update on what's going on with the Shoot the Moon contest. The contest was supposed to be over on the 30th. I did extend the deadline till tomorrow evening at midnight. I know we get some cloud and snow and rain coming in, but as far as the kids go too, if you want to send in your entries, you still have an opportunity to do that as well. I've got a lot of nice entries. I think I'm up over 150 kids entries right now, which is just amazing.
Wow.
Remember, those are the prizes that are being offered through Astronomy by the Bay, and then we've actually been able to a couple of other companies have offered to volunteer to offer some nice donations for us. Cliff Valley Astronomy, of course, Stefan Picard, and Fireball Meteorites here with us as well, Charlie. So we've got these three nice little meteorites here to offer, and we've got a telescope here, small telescope, and lots of other prizes. So all this is going to be given out on my Facebook page on next Sunday night. at 6 p.m. before the Sunday Night Astronomy Show. All prizes have to have arrangements though to be picked up in St. John. There won't be any shipping with this, so hopefully you know somebody around who can. And my territory covers from St. Stephen to Hillsborough. So if you're in that particular area, I can probably meet you at a local Tim Hortons or something like that along the way. My drive for work, so make those arrangements. The contest draws will take place next Sunday night, December the 10th at 6 p.m. here on Facebook. And special thanks again to our sponsors, Cliff Valley Astronomy and Fireball Meteorites. Thanks so much, everybody.
Yep.
And thanks for all the entries. Just been amazing.
And before you get ready to sign off, somebody was asking about a book.
Oh, yes.
And so this is the, there we go. This is the latest and the 4th edition of the Backyard Astronomer's Guide. So this is the most up-to-datest one that's out there. You can still buy the version 3 out there, but make sure you get this one, because if you're going to buy one, they're about $49.95 and they are thick and there's tons of information in them. And you can get them at Indigo or Chapters. And and this has just been put out this year, actually. And this is absolutely a wonderful book to get started in astronomy with, because there's everything from for beginners to even some seasoned people wanting to do astrophotography, all of that stuff in that book called the Backyard Astronomer's Guide to 4th edition. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul. Yeah.
That's my commercial.
Oh, that's perfect. That is a book a lot of us have started with for sure. And it's an excellent book. Great Christmas presents. Yay.
Absolutely. Yep. It's that time of year.
That time of year. So we're 8:58. So that's our show for this evening then. Hope you enjoyed the program tonight. Special thanks to our guest, Robert Gaudet. Robert, thanks for joining us on the show this evening. Great sharing the
Good to have
program.
you, Robert.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It was a lot of fun. Hope to have you
I'll
back.
give a shout out to some family members in North Carolina, Black Creek,
Sure.
North Carolina, my Aunt Delia. I love you, and I hope you're watching.
Awesome. Good stuff. We'll hope to have you back again soon.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, and a special thanks as well, of course, goes out to Rosanna once again for fabulous fun facts. I like to pick up that little cement mixer on the side of the road. That's kind of neat.
I'm on my way when I leave.
This guy right here, he's going to be going looking for it now.
I'm going on a road trip. Yep.
You're going to find it on Google Earth and the way he goes. Thank you, Rosanna. Remember, too, we do love getting your photos, so send them in to astronomybythebay@gmail.com, and we'd be happy to share them on our next broadcast. And a special thanks again to our friends at Rogers for joining us this evening. So until next week, everybody, wishing you all clear skies. As we like to say, guys, open your eyes to view the skies and keep your scopes. Point it up. Good night, everybody.